Hey Mig Toes, this is Vention. Just working on a little adapter for the dualies on my truck. Most air hoses can't really reach through to fill up the thing. So I got this little adapter from Amazon, and they're really late, but you can still order for them, but the order delivery times are getting farther and farther out. Man, the virus is really slowing things down. I just wanted to share this little thing. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these things before. This is what they call a Stillson pipe wrench. You can see it says it on the label. And basically, I got this thing from like Harbor Freight like 10 years ago. And it is, if you want to really crank down on something, these vice grips, vice grip water pump pliers, they call them, or channel locks. They're very nice. This is actually a little update. You use a little button to adjust it, and it's pretty darn cool. But if you really want to hold on something really tight, this is not what you want. This right here, this is the deal. Basically, you can just, if you can grab something so tight with this thing, even with a cheapo like $10 Stillson wrench like this, you can grab onto like anything really hard and it will not strip and it will not slide or slip. And you can really crank down. Now this is no challenge because it's a 6-point thing, but if you want to grab like something that's round, this is the ticket, because on top of the fact that you're squeezing it, right? The pipe wrench effect also really squeezes. So when you're cranking this way, this little thing will sort of move back a little bit and really clamp down on the thing. And it'll leave teeth marks in whatever it is you're working on. So, you got to be careful with that. But basically, it is really something when you really want to crank down hard on something, and that is plenty right there. Now I'll put this in my glove box, and then I'll be able to hook it up to my little air pump here. This is an automatically set. You can like set it to whatever pressure you want, plug it into your cigarette lighter, and you got all the air you need. It's got a little light on it too. And you can just screw the thing on like so. And it is highly cool. The reason I mostly just wanted to touch base with you guys, say hi, and hope you're doing well in the midst of this horrendous plague that's going on. And there we go. Now I'll be able to fill up my inner dualies on my truck very easily. And plug this in the cigarette lighter, and yeah, good times. Basically, I just wanted to touch base on the whole cancer thing. Some people might be saying that I'm not doing anything, and I'm kind of not, actually. The reason is because this whole thing that's happening right now, I want to make sure that it's not going to overwhelm the medical system, because what I need right now is a PET scan. And if I wanted to try to get a PET scan up here, it would cost like 10, 12, 16. The hospital I went to for my original PET scan was, it would cost $16,000 to get a friggin' PET scan, and that is lame. But there are open source medical places where you can you can pay cash for a scan like that, and in places like in the southern United States, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, you can get it for like $2,000 or $3,000. Whereas up here, there is no cash deals available, no special price for cash deals because everything is so expensive in Washington State. That is why I am leaving this place. As soon as the lease for this house is up in July, I am going to be ready. I'm going to be living in my truck camper. Then I'm going to go mobile for a few months and look for a place to settle down, possibly settle down in the southern United States. Because, I mean, it's hot in the summer, sure, but if you go up in elevations, into the higher elevations on the upper areas, the temperature moderates. Whereas, and then in the wintertime, you can go down to sea level and enjoy the warmer weather in the south that way. And that you can probably hear the rain on the roof of this garage, or this workshop. And it's I am, since I lost that 90 pounds, I just don't feel comfortable in this cold ass weather anymore. Before, I wouldn't bat an eye about cold weather. I used to say I was a creature of ice and darkness back in my graveyard shift days, because I could work just fine, chaining trucks and walking through the snow, and I was very comfortable, but I wouldn't be able to do that now. So yeah, I am gonna leave this state. I will miss the no income tax, but then again, if I go to like Texas, there's no income tax there either. And New Mexico, I don't know. The rents are extremely cheap in New Mexico, but they have a state income tax. So if I ever wanted to cash in a ton of Bitcoins, I would be paying a lot. Now in the People's Republic of Oregon, they have no long-term capital gains tax system. So if I cashed in, for example, if I cashed in like $30,000 in Bitcoins, right? That was my only income for the year, I would pay zero income tax on my Bitcoins, but like federal income tax. But for Oregon, if you earn anything, even $1, you will pay the full bore price on that tax. So anybody with money probably doesn't want to live in Oregon. So yeah, I don't, and I won't. It might be a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. So I'm just hunkering down here for, give it maybe 2 or 3 more weeks until I can really see what this whole pardon the tilt. Yeah. So I can see what this whole virus thing turns out to be. Because the last thing I want is to be far away from home without all of my resources that I have here, and then get stuck there and have no place to camp because campgrounds are shutting down all over the country. I don't want to leave home at a time like this, but it's a downer because things up here are shutting down too. My usual naturopath clinic where I get my vitamin C megadose IVs. I got one yesterday. You can probably see the mark there. But I won't be able to go there anymore because they just called me a little while ago and they're closing down too. But with liposomal vitamin C, I can take so much that I feel very much like how I feel when I have the IV. So a lot more of that vitamin C goes into your system when you are going with liposomal. And I don't know if this thing is tilted or if I'm just lopsided myself. So in any case, I'm just going to keep getting the camper ready. But I have several more months to live here, so I'm putting up some security cameras because we've got a package thief. I wanted to update to the new Trezor hardware wallet for my Bitcoins, but because I'm still running one of those old clunky ones. But the thing is, somebody ran off with the package, and that cost me like $100 and something bucks, and that irritates me. So I'm putting up security cameras, and I might make a lockbox out of that. There's a little red crate box thing over there. I might use that. So in any case, that's the plan. I'm going to hunker down here, keep doing the fasting, keep doing the vitamin C, keep getting sun whenever I can. I have a tanning subscription, but they closed down too. So I've been getting, but luckily it's been getting warmer, so I've been getting real sun. But not today. It is a cold, ugly bastard out there. So I'll just do a little work on the camper, do a little work on the security cameras, and I already did that thing for the truck. And yeah, so that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. I'm hoping that that you guys are ready for what's coming. If I'm right, basically we get a nasty recession about every 7 to 10 years, and we have been overdue for that recession for a couple years now. And when I got cancer, I decided to go ahead and sell my house and move into this rental so I could use some of that money to pay for my cancer treatments when I'm in between now and when Bitcoins really take off. As they are in the price 6,700, I'm fine really for the rest of my life, but I don't want to spend any at this low level. So I saved enough cash from the house to last me about 17 months or so. So I'm sitting pretty. I don't have to cash in Bitcoins for quite a while. So as soon as I can tell that it's safe and the country's starting to recover from the virus side a little bit, that's when I'm going to make my move and head south and get that PET scan. Then I can see what's really going on. But I feel amazing. And I'm no longer bleeding out of my butt. That stopped a while ago. But I don't know for sure what's going on. I had a slowly increasing CEA test, and it's been going up steadily. But I'm not sure I trust those CEA tests because I started this whole adventure already stage 4. It had already metastasized to my liver, and yet my friggin' CEA test was only 5. And that is, I guess that's why they don't bother using it as a cancer screening method as much, because it's kind of pointless because it didn't show me anything. At one time, maybe the cancer was worse, and like back in 2016, when it was like really poking me in the back. But that's gone away. I mean, I get a little bit of something, yeah, if I really feel for it, but I'm not uncomfortable now. Whereas before, it felt like somebody took the end of a broomstick and was jamming it between my second and third rib on the right-hand side, and it felt darn right and uncomfortable enough to open up my chair and dig through it to try to find what was poking me, but there was nothing in there. So basically that's where we are. I'm going to wait till the virus moderates a bit, and then we can move more freely, and the country is no longer in a viral panic. and then I'll go get it. But I do not want to take off now. And besides, we got like a stay-at-home order. You know, we're supposed to like shelter in place and all that right now. So basically, I'm just going to hang out here. But back to the economy. We about every 7 to 10 years, we drop into a nasty recession. It's almost like a really slow heartbeat in the economy. And we have been overdue for a while. And the feds have just been printing money like crazy, and now they're really printing money like crazy. And if the usual pattern holds, and I think it will, we are beginning another big bear market, nasty thing in the conventional economy. And in the past, back in 2008, when that occurred, right at the beginning, you know, when like hedge funds owned silver and gold and whatnot, they sold, and the price of silver and gold collapsed. And then it was only until like Lehman Brothers and when the financial institutions started failing and people started losing confidence in those institutions, that's when gold and silver started coming up. And silver, just as I suspected, increased rather dramatically. My gold only went up about 70%, but my silver went up 260%. And that became the down payment on my house, which I bought at the bottom of the market in 2012. And then, of course, I sold it at what I think is the top of the market last year. And now, over the next 2 or 3 years, if this is like the 2008 recession, and to some extent the 2000 recession, the economy is huge, right? And it has a long way to fall. And man, it's really coming down out there. Oh, it's hailing out there too. Whoa. Anyway, the economy has a long way to fall, and it takes a while to do it. And I suspect all of this massive debt and everything is going to be unwinding, and they're printing insane amounts of money, and we are going to have currency devaluation, I think, over the next couple of years. And when that occurs, when currency devaluation occurs, and when people lose confidence in the failing financial institutions, which are going to be going bankrupt, all, you know, one by one, like popcorn, pop, pop, pop. And when that occurs and it starts costing real people real money, then people are really going to be looking at alternatives, gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And I am well positioned to profit handsomely from that. All I need to do is survive. Boy, look at it come down out there. You probably can't see it. Oh well. Well, that's about all I got for you, Big Toes. And don't get married.